Carson-Newman takes down Emory and Henry by 8 with Coach Mike Mincey. I'm Mike watching for the Eagle Sports Network. Coach, at times it wasn't pretty, but it is a victory at this point in the year. Let's first talk about the big run that you had. You were down 3 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. At that point, I think you went on a 22-5 run or 26-5 run, something like that. What was the positives of that little stretch for your team?
Probably the positive was, we weren't playing our best, but I don't remember exactly who was on the floor. I know we had some bench players. It wasn't all starters. I think we had at least 3 subs on the floor at the time, and they did a good job of going from down 3 to up 6 as we went into the break. So, happy to see that. Obviously, we continue to work through our rotation and building depth. Come out in the third quarter, are doing good a job on both ends of the floor to get our lead up to 15 as we go into the fourth quarter. It's just late in the game. We kind of let it unravel a little bit.
I don't want you to have an excuse, but how much did fatigue potentially play a factor tonight?
Well, we don't want to make it an excuse, but I'll tell you what I told them, that I don't think there's any doubt that playing our third game in 5 days took its toll on us tonight. We didn't shoot the ball well in our own gym, which is unusual. We had some wide open threes that were just like, some of them weren't even close. We missed a few bunnies, and the only thing I can attribute that to is one, Emory and Henry shot the ball extremely well, especially from the 3. I think they only shot 31% or something, but from the 3, they shot great. I hit 9 threes, made enough buckets to make it interesting late. And all I cared about was just getting a win. I wanted to get this game over and won because it's just been a tough 5 days for us.
You mentioned that. How important is it right now? You've talked about the youth on this team. To even have games like this, or maybe you might have beaten them by 30 plus at their place, but to have tight games like this for those young players to learn what it's like to win in March.
Well, you saw what happened at March. We kind of did a few of the same things, especially from a shooting perspective. Short-armed it, put it in the crease, between the rim and the backboard on layups. Not as clean and crisp as what we've done against other opponents. And tonight, instead of folding under the pressure, because this was a big game. Knowing that we're ranked, they didn't know that, but knowing that we're ranked 6th in the region, in a great spot there, it's a must-win situation. And knowing that Tuscaloosa had a tough game at Anderson, if we can win this game, you're going to move back to the top of the division, all that kind of stuff. And they pulled it out. There was a bunch of bad plays there in a row. And I think Harley finally got a layup. Skylar got an offensive rebound, drove in and got fouled, made free throws. And we made free throws late. So, to do that amongst the pressure is that's good to see for sure.
Anderson did do you the favor by beating Tuscaloosa. You're in first place with 1 game to play on your home floor against a Coker team that gave Catawba about everything that they could handle for 3+ quarters earlier tonight.
Yeah.
What's the key to ensuring that your team gets that rest but can still have that mental ability to understand that Saturday's a really important game looking forward to the tournament?
Well, they already know that. We've been talking about this whole week, especially when we got back home on Monday, that it's not March quite yet, but for us it is March. It's really important games. They're home games. But I think the kicker is, instead of having just that one day where you can't even really get on the floor and practice because you're exhausted as it is, we get a day to recover, and then we can come back on the floor Friday. And obviously we can't go super long and we can't go hard, but we can at least get on the floor and practice a little bit on our home floor and work through some things. But Coker's a good basketball team. They've challenged a bunch of people. They've stomped a bunch of people this year. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. And like I said, Catawba's a really good basketball team. And to go in there and even if you're playing with them for a half, that's pretty good at Catawba, because I don't think they've lost in that home floor all year.